In a quiet African village, there lived a teacher named John. He was tall, slim, respected, and trusted by the people, for they believed knowledge flowed from his lips like water from a stream. Among his students was Anna, young, curvy, with beauty that turned heads. Her smile was warm, her eyes innocent, and her presence alone lit the classroom. But John's eyes wandered where they should not. Admiration grew in his heart, and soon, desire clouded his wisdom. He lured her with honeyed words under the village tree, weaving promises of a better life, of love, of care. Words too sweet for a maiden's heart to resist. And one night, under the veil of shadows, the teacher crossed the sacred line between guide and guardian, and the maiden's innocence was stolen. Days passed, then moons, until Amara felt a stirring within her belly, a secret that could not be hidden forever. Soon, the whispers began. At the well, in the market, even in the corners of the elders' huts. Her shame was the village's delight. And when the finger of blame pointed at John, he turned his face away, leaving her to carry the burden alone. The elders declared her unworthy of school, unworthy of trust, unworthy of her dreams. And so, she was cast out, a lone maiden, bearing a heavy load. Alone, she wept beneath the setting sun. No family, no friend, no hand to hold but the child yet unborn. Every day was a battle. To fetch water was pain. To find food was war. And still, her belly grew heavier. One day, her strength failed her, and she fell by the roadside, forgotten by those who once called her sister. But fate, ever mysterious, brought Oba, a wealthy merchant with a heart richer than his gold. Where others mocked, he knelt. Where others turned away, he offered water and hope. Oba took her into his home, not as a stranger, but as a soul worth saving. From that day, her story began to change. In Oba's home, she found the rest her body had long been denied. For the first time in moons, Anna slept without fear of hunger, without the sting of shameful whispers. His wives, moved by her suffering, treated her not as a rival, but as a sister. They fed her, clothed her, and shared in her burden. But soon, the cries of labor shook the night. Pain tore through her body like fire through dry grass, and her screams filled the compound. And when dawn broke, her tears of pain turned to tears of joy. A son was born, her light, her crown, her proof that even in sorrow, life blooms. Oba blessed the child as his own, saying, "This boy shall not grow in shame, but in strength." His words were like seeds planted in rich soil. Though weak, Anna's spirit longed for dignity. She could not live forever on mercy. She must rise, not only for herself, but for the child she now held. So Oba taught her the secrets of trade, the value of cloth, the weight of spices, the measure of honesty. Lessons richer than gold. With trembling hands, she began at the market. A few peppers, a few coins. Yet with each sale, her spirit grew stronger. The same mouths that once mocked her now whispered differently. For the fallen maiden was rising again, like a palm tree after the storm. She remembered her own hunger and gave freely to another. From that day, people said, "Anna's heart is as rich as Oba's." And so her name began to spread. Day by day, trade by trade, Anna grew. From spices to fabrics, from small coins to heavy bags of cowries. Her table in the market grew wider, and her laughter returned. And her greatest treasure was Leo, her son, her crown, the reason she breathed. For every coin she earned, every tear she wiped was for him. The village that once scorned her now spoke in awe. The girl who was cast away has risen higher than we imagined. With her earnings, she built her first house, a place of dignity, a home not given by pity, but by her own hands. And she became a giver. The broken she sheltered, the lost she guided. She became to others what Oba had once been to her. But while Anna rose, John began to fall. Parents pulled their children from his class, whispers of his shame spreading like fire through dry grass. Once respected, he now begged for fees that would never come. His hands, once filled with chalk, now trembled with emptiness. Those who drank palm wine with him in his days of pride now turned their backs, leaving him to sip the bitter cup of loneliness. He turned to farming, but the land mocked his weak hands. For a man too proud to toil, the earth gave nothing. Hunger became his companion, shame his shadow. The once proud teacher was now but a ghost of himself. Reduced to begging, he found no mercy in the same market where Anna's name is now sung with praise. One day, his ears caught a name. A woman, once cast away, now ruling the trade routes with wealth and honor. The name burned his soul. Anna. With nothing left, he set out for the city. Each step heavy, each mile a reminder of the life he once destroyed. By then, Anna had risen beyond the market. Warehouses filled with cloth, caravans bearing her goods. She was no longer a maiden, but a queen of trade. In the city, she walked like royalty. Respect followed her steps, and honor crowned her name. But as fate would weave, John entered the city. Not as a teacher, not as a man of honor, but as a beggar seeking work. With trembling hands, he begged for work. The guard led him inside, never knowing the storm about to break. He waited in the hall of power, heart pounding, unaware that destiny's wheel had turned full circle. Then came the sound of footsteps, familiar, steady, and filled with the weight of destiny. And there she stood, Anna, no longer the shamed maiden, but a woman of power. Her eyes widened, his face grew pale. The betrayer and the betrayed met once more. For a long moment, silence reigned. His eyes begged, hers burned. The past stood between them like a mountain. In her mind, the rain returned, the shame, the hunger, the night she gave birth alone. And before her stood the man who caused it all. John fell to his knees, his pride shattered. Anna, forgive me. I was blind, I was foolish. But Anna's heart boiled. The pain of years rose within her. How could forgiveness be given so cheaply? Then came a small voice. Mama, who is this man? Why is he crying before you? Innocence pierced the silence. John wept bitterly.
Give me work, any work. I have nothing left. Spare me. If not for me, then for the man I once was.
Her heart trembled. Mercy whispered, but anger roared louder. She walked the room, torn between two roads, the road of vengeance and the road of forgiveness. And then she remembered Oba, the man who lifted her when the world cast her aside. Without his mercy, where would she be now? She knew mercy was a gift only the strong could give, but would she give it? Her voice rose, steady and sharp. John, you left me to die. You broke me, but you did not end me. Look at me now. I rose without you. John's tears flowed harder. He could not lift his head. The crown he once wore as teacher now lay in the dust. Then she said, I will not cast you out. You will work here, as a servant, under the eyes of those you once mocked. That is my mercy. And John bowed. For a crumb of mercy, he gave his pride away. The city soon learned. The proud teacher was now a servant in the house of the woman he had scorned. And little Leo watched. He saw a man broken, humbled, made low by his own deeds. She told her son, remember, my child, choices plant seeds. Some grow into blessings, others into curses. John struggled with the work, but he endured, for this was his punishment and his redemption. Though anger remained in her heart, a small seed of respect grew, for at last he had learned humility. She sat at night wondering if she had done right. Forgiveness was heavy, and the scars of betrayal still ached. And John, too, sat alone. Regret was his food, memory his drink. He knew he could never undo the past. At the festival, Anna shone like the moon. John was but a shadow among the lights. But in her heart the question remained. Should forgiveness end at mercy, or should it open the door to acceptance? Their eyes met one last time. His held sorrow, hers held fire. Between them lay a river too wide to cross. And so the tale ends. The betrayer became the beggar, the broken became the strong.
But the heart of Anna asked a question only you can answer. Would you forgive, or would you walk on?
If you enjoyed the story, like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. Thank you.